stop running down on getting the drop and pressing and all that. You're not gonna do nothing.
Top on that drop, yeah. Could you imagine Steam pull up on you with the top down? I done been around, lock shop down. Twin Desert Eagle, turn your block round. Never seen recession. I'm a weapon, so rock with the stocks down. Nearly co-possession. I was reckless, 50-50s in my socks now. Gotta get it how I get it.
And I told you, man, there ain't no real drip.
So the pulled up to the Kendrick Lamar show to hate the whole time. He hating on everything. The shorty's walking in the building. He's hating on everything, champ.
You gotta pop out and show.
Sometimes you gotta pop out and show people true, champ. But you're in a goddamn suite cut off from the rest of the goddamn event. Look at my son. My son never had no street presence. No. This is a created player, champ. On my soul.
Oh, hell no. You got white people at the Kendrick show saying problem. Oh, yeah.
So, cream cheese people don't scream the N-word at Drake's concert when Drake is doing all this and he doing his raps.
I thought everybody here was K-Boss. They're not. K-Boss at home tweet. Broke. Told you, dusty. Look at the demo. Look at the demo. Let me tell you, we love white people. We love pop fans. They're what make hip-hop go to another level, make you sell out of the stadium. That's good. Everybody got him. Beyonce got him. Travis Scott got him. Drake got him.
Beyonce is not hip-hop.
K-Dot and SZA got him. You know what I'm saying? But the idea that K-Boss is supporting, hell no. Niggas, we're doing a demographic check. Ain't no way I'm arguing on Twitter with these. It's not K-Boss game.
Anthony Saleh makes Akademiks was somebody who was a pro, talking about their kids, talking about the wives and all of this stuff. Very inappropriate, but this was during the beef. And Dave Free was talked about by Drake and Anthony Saleh as well. Going back to Akademiks was somebody who was approached by Anthony Saleh and Dave Free. He thought that shit was sweet in this suite. He thought that he wasn't going to get touched. But it looks like after posting constantly at the concert, because he was posting this in his story as the same.
That's what we just watched. That's what we just watched. So after the concert or whatever, Anthony Saleh and Dave Free, which is peoples of Kendrick Lamar, I think his manager, some shit like that, they supposedly pressed Akademiks. All right, let's keep going.
Time as it's going on. Eventually, I'm assuming in my mind, Anthony Saleh and Dave Free figured out where Akademiks was staying, because right after Akademiks started posting to his story, they ended up meeting with him in the suite that he was staying in. Obviously, if they see that Akademiks is in one of the suites watching the show, they're just going to get the drop on him and find out where exactly he's at so they could go
get the drop on him. Pressed. Let's keep going.
This is where they start to confront him. And eventually, after the scenario, Akademiks goes on live stream to talk about it.
Anthony Saleh, which I think is a manager. I think he's a manager. Me and him, we actually chopped it up. You know, we actually sat down, we were talking until Euphoria came out. Euphoria, I was like, hold on, brother, I gotta listen to Euphoria. And then Dave Free popped up. And me and Dave Free, you know, that was the first conversation since pretty much 2022, I think. And, you know, at the end of the day, positive vibes.
Y'all just pussy, bro. Y'all stop running down on getting the drop and pressing and all that. You're not gonna do nothing, because the only thing you're gonna do is give people like Charleston White, and y'all already done made Charleston White a goddamn mega super crazy star. Nobody wants to do nothing with him. Nobody, like, it's diabolical, because y'all press these people, y'all pull up on them, and y'all have problems with them, and y'all don't do nothing. You asking them questions, bro. Y'all is soft. He just said what he would do to Absol if Absol touched him. He said if Absol touch him, he won't be able to touch nothing else ever again in life. He said that. And y'all found out where he was. Y'all didn't call Absol. Y'all didn't do none of that. So now it makes him look like he's the champion. Yeah, I went to a Kendrick Lamar concert. I saw Dave Free. I saw these guys, and it was peaceful. Them ain't want no static with Big Act. He's there. He's talking shit the whole time on his goddamn stories. Y'all see him, and y'all do nothing, champ. Y'all don't press him. Y'all sat down and had a conversation with him over goddamn linguine. That's what y'all did. We supposed to be these big bad guys from Cali, and Akademiks supposed to be some soft guy YouTuber that's been talking crazy, and there it is. Crazy, bro.
Clearly, they have a POV. I got a different POV. Most of all, I think the conversation was, they were trying to see like, yo, are we into it or we? And I'm like, at the end of the day, I'm doing my job here. You get what I'm?
Are we into it? They asked, allegedly, this is Akademiks, the chipmunk talking, champ. He says they asked him, are we into it or we good? And Ak says, I'm just doing my job, bro. I'm just creating content. Just stop pressing. Y'all not gonna do nothing, man. It makes y'all look bad, bro.
My opinion is gonna lean a certain way because y'all know what type of music I like. But one thing I did agree with them with, some of this shit should de-escalate, and whether it's fan influenced or whoever else has connected to it, if it's possible, especially when it brings in third parties and family or shit like that. That shit, there's no place for that. Not shit that I'm necessarily doing, because I don't speak about, give two fucks about, talking about that. But at the end of the day, I think there were respectful conversations. I think they understand my POV. Yeah, brother, at the end of the day, Drake my favorite artist. Like, my nigga, like, what do you think? I don't care if I show up here today or tomorrow, the next day. Cool. Now, I understand their POV too. Bro,
nah, it's not that Drake is your favorite artist, bro. It's that you purposely went there to shit on what was going on, bro. You purposely went there to shit on what was going on to your millions of fans. You went there to shit on a situation, and you was acting like you was untouchable, but you was hiding. And when they ran down on you, it went your way. I'm not gonna lie. It just, it just keep going ways like untouchable, champ.
you don't like when wives are put up on screen? You don't like when wives are being discussed? You don't like when daughters, sons? I don't think Drake likes when his son gets mentioned, or his baby mama, or his sexual history, or his lack thereof, or making assumptions about what he may have. This is happening on both sides. So, when I hear them put that frustration out to me, I agree. But it's a mutual in a both ways thing that I don't think, even if they're like, all right, Act, could you not amplify certain things? Well, there's other things being amplified. We're usually trying to just be a neutral arbiter.
Nigga, it ain't other things being amplified, bro. You are somebody that argues with kids about music. And you have a platform and you have money. So the way you win is to go all out and keep barraging with the anti-Kendrick, SZA. It's just, if you want to have a conversation with somebody, I'm saying. But bro, you went there to shit on their situation, bro.
Dave Free had a moment. He asked me. He said, "Act." He said, "What are you getting from this?" He says, "Is he paying you?" And that was the most insulting thing and I had conversations with these men for a while. But the very idea that I was like a purchasable commodity was so disgusting. I reminded him, I said, I've been doing this for over 10 years. I've been doing this for over 15 years. How did you think I became me? I said, you knew about me before this shit. How did you think did you think I was a cheap hoe that just could be bought?
And this goes back to me saying that Akademiks really doesn't want to choose a side in this beef. I think that Akademiks, after experiencing the situation with The Weeknd, Cash XO, Top 5, Drake, all of this stuff going on with Kendrick Lamar as well, I think he started to realize that he bit off more than he could chew. And now he's trying to say that he stands alone against all of the things that have been going on. I think Akademiks knows more than he lets on. And I think that he knows so much that it's time for him to steer away from everything else. Let me do this thing. Let me go to Kendrick Lamar's concert. Let me go to The Weeknd's concert to let people know that I'm a neutral. that I'm just trying to cover this stuff. Yeah, I have a bias. Yeah, Drake is my favorite artist, but I'm just covering these things. I'm not trying to pledge any alliance to anybody. But this only comes after Top 5 gets shot up, after one of his friends loses his life, after things start getting very scarce, after the lawsuit starts getting very serious. Discovery is going to start to come out. In the lawsuit, he's already trying to blame Kendrick Lamar for the shooting, despite the shooting happening in Toronto where everybody else is getting shot at. It only makes me feel like things are getting hot in the kitchen and Akademiks is trying to break out. He's trying to get out of there. And I think the cover up for him going to this concert was to try to act like he could do this. I could go to these concerts. I went to the weekends. Now I could go to Kendrick's.
Yep. And then he gets pressed, Chip. He gets pressed and nothing happens to him. He leaves unscathed, where he can go ahead and make more content the same exact way. The only thing that did was make his fans believe that he's bigger than what he really is. It just proves against what niggas was saying about, being street, bro.